She said, she'll take me anywhere, she'll take me anywhere, as long as she stays with me. She said, she'll take me anywhere, she'll take me anywhere, as long as I stay queen. Kiss, kiss Molly's lips, kiss, kiss Molly's lips, kiss, kiss Molly's lips, kiss, kiss Molly's lips. Hey, me and Matt here, and I thought I did a video yesterday that came out. The Royal Rumble winners that could have happened. Yeah, something like that. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. I thought maybe do something different. Talk about matches in the Royal Rumble that basically, well, the best and worst. And I guess when I say worst, it's hard to really narrow that down because maybe some people are gonna like it for different reasons. My opinion is my opinion, obviously. But anyways, yeah, here we go. So let's start off with the worst. It's hard to find footage of this stuff. It really is. And yeah. But we'll start off with this match. Talk about the worst. Talk about Brutus the Barber Beefcake versus Lenny Poffo, aka the Genius. And yeah, this was, I'm not even sure why this happened, honestly. And when you think about it too, I mean, Lenny Poffo at the time was a manager and managing the Beverly Brothers, which would probably be in another year, I think. He also managed Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig. But this is kind of like, I don't get it. Like, you look at, we talk about Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis, who are wrestlers, but yet they're in the managerial or general manager role, if you will. So, I mean, yeah, it's kind of one of those things where I don't get it. Honestly, it's really nothing else to say about it. I mean, another thing too is that this ended in a double disqualification, and y'all know how I feel about that, so yeah. Well, that was painful. Let's talk about this match. I did find this one. You got King Haku versus Harley Race, of course. Bobby Heenan was in Haku's corner, part of the Heenan family, obviously, and this was not too bad. I think that you look at, there was a lot of misses. I mean, Harley missed the diving headbutt, which is crazy to me, like that, you know. There was a lot of missed moves, but, I mean, yeah, Haku won, obviously. There was a stare down where they both headbutt each other. But yeah, at the end of the day, it was King Haku that won this match. So now we're going to go into this match, a take team match. I actually did record this on VHS when it happened. We've got Spike and Taz versus the Dudley Boys, and this was pretty cool. Although, I mean, they had some other good matches, but yeah, they won the belts from the Dudleys, and it was pretty cool. And so this match, you have them going in as the tag team champions, and then they leave as the tag team champions, which I think was pretty cool. But it's one of those things too where I feel, I don't know. Like I said, this wasn't the best match that they had, and so it is what it is. Now let's go on to this one. There's basically two horses. Bob Holly versus Brock Lesnar. And I mean, this was for the WWE Championship. It was alright. I mean, look, these two guys, we knew what was going to happen. I mean, Bob Holly broke his neck in the match with Brock prior to this, so this was kind of like a revenge thing. Would it have been cool to see Bob Holly as the WWE Champion? Hell yeah. But it is what it is, too. Like, I think you knew that wasn't going to happen. But he did the Alabama Slam, and yeah, that didn't work. Brock Lesnar eventually got him in the F5 for the win, retaining the title, but I feel like this wasn't the best. Again, this could have been better, obviously, and I know they had better matches. Obviously, the first one they had wasn't good, but yeah, they definitely had better matches. I think maybe just that year. So this match, you go all the way to, again, another match. These guys have had many, many good matches through 2002, 2003. Yeah. Yeah, Triple H versus Shawn Michaels. And this was a shame, too, because these guys really beat the shit out of each other. And then, yeah, obviously there was a lot of gimmicks. Blading, whatever it was. And, you have them all over the ring. You got one point where Shawn does the elbow drop on Hunter on the announce table. And, yeah, this was a really good match. Up until the end. And it's kind of a shame because, again, they didn't answer the 10 count. And it's unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate because you look at these two guys are two of the best wrestlers, especially at that time. And they know each other. So, yeah, it was a shit show, but it is what it is. Speaking of Triple H and the Royal Rumble, let's go the year after. You have the return, I guess, of Scott Steiner at the Survivor Series in Madison Square Garden, and this one was just like there. And I don't know, like, I think they could have used Scott better. Obviously, they used Goldberg a hell of a lot better than Scott. At the time, I don't know what the hell they were thinking. I mean, his mic skills were the shits. This feud was interesting. I mean, again, you've got these two guys, two muscle guys, and to me, it was just another WCW guy that was fed to Triple H. That's kind of how I feel about it. This match was not good. It was very clunky, mostly due to Scott, but yeah, Triple H obviously won. I don't think Scott won the world title, actually, in WWE, but it's unfortunate. I mean, he had the look and everything, but it kind of sucks when that happens, and yeah, once again, Triple H, at that time, I can see why people didn't like him, but well, this one not a fault of their own, just the way things were, and I don't know how the injury happened, but you have the reunion of Bret and Owen. I mean, you have Survivor Series '93, the match with the Hearts versus the Knights, and yeah, Bret Hart won the match for his team. Owen got eliminated, got pissed off, went into the ring, confronted Bret, and they had this whole thing where it was like Bret and Owen were gonna fight then, and that never happened. So basically, Bret and Owen made amends, and they teamed up for a while. Had some really, really good matches, especially with the Steiner brothers. Obviously, brothers, and it was like, yeah. So they had this match for the tag team titles. It was gonna be two good teams, two good Canadian teams, rather. Quebec versus Alberta. It was like the Quebecers were also good, and I think you look at PCO, who's still wrestling today. Is Jacques? I know he had cancer. I'm pretty sure he beat it, but I'm not sure. But this match was, not the best. I mean, yeah, the sharpshooter and everything, and there was a point where Bret got injured, and he wouldn't take Owen in. So basically, yeah, they lost, and Owen, dare I say it, kicked his leg off from his leg. And yeah, that was basically it. Would it have been cool to see Bret and Owen as the tag team champions at least once? Yeah. I could see why they didn't do it, but, like, that's crazy. Anyways, yeah, it wasn't the best, unfortunately, but, yeah. Alright, well, and I'm gonna put this one on first. And yes, I know that technically it's the boss, or the former boss, rather, that human sack of excrement, Mr. McMahon, versus a returning Ric Flair. Now, Ric Flair came back after the Survivor Series 2001. Him and Vince became co-partners, and yeah, and so yeah, they had a back and forth, and Vince was just a prick. That's all I can say. I mean, yeah. Anyway, so this was a really good match, and it was a street fight. So I mean, there are always good matches, but yeah, you had Rick's family in the background, and they were front row. And there was a point where Vince was beating the shit out of Rick, and I think it was Charlotte actually. Ashley. They had the camera, so Vince takes the camera and takes a picture of Rick in a crimson mask and throws the camera back. They beat the shit out of each other again. You have this time Rick take over, throws Vince back into where his family is. Rick takes the camera, hits Vince, takes the picture, he throws the camera back. There was a lot of very good spots. For guys in their 50s, like this was pretty cool, in my opinion. But, yeah, Rick ended up going over with the figure four, and that was cool. And I mean, at that time, that was a good Royal Rumble. It was one of the best Royal Rumbles. I'm probably in the minority, but I don't care. So, Also, this one I don't care either because of the person that's in it. 2001 ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. Got Chris Jericho versus Chris Benoit. Now, Chris Benoit is the Intercontinental Champion at this point, and I think they had a match prior to this. I don't know. I can't remember, unfortunately, but these two guys have had a lot of good matches in WCW, ECW, Smoky Mountain Wrestling. You know, very, very good matches, even in Canada, Japan, Mexico, you know, name it. But this match was no exception. I mean, they had a lot of high spots. There was this one spot where you can look back at it now and go, yeah. Like, Chris Jericho was on the outside, and he had a steel chair, and Benoit, he shot himself from one end to the other, did a dive, and Jericho hit him with the chair, right square on the forehead. So it was like, shit, you know, that was a car wreck. But, yeah, Chris Jericho ended up getting in the ladder and grabbing the Intercontinental Championship. But that was a fight. That, to me, was a good match for the Royal Rumble. And I mean, that's just the way it is. You know, yeah, I know it's lost in the archives forever, but who cares? So, this last one I will talk about because it was pretty cool. Very cool, actually. 2018 WWE Championship. Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles. This was awesome. And I think, yeah, Bryan had just turned heel on AJ, actually, but this was a while ago. Did the low blow. AJ remembered to.
We're a fucking cup!
And I mean, look, you have these guys that, man, you know, you talk about hard hitting, and AJ basically got the brunt of it as well. And I mean, he tried to, and it just didn't seem to work out. It's unfortunate, but there it is. And yeah, I mean, this was bad for AJ, and yeah, I thought maybe. I mean, he did the Styles Clash, but Eric Rowan came out and he basically picked AJ up and did a choke slam, and Bryan went over for the pin, won the match, had the title, and there it is. The new Daniel Bryan has, you know, and I think he was a heel before that, but I mean, well, he was obviously a few years prior to that, but this was an interesting version of him. And shortly after, they would have that
Wooden fucking bland fucking piece of shit toilet fucking stool softened piece of shit fucking title.
So, anyways, this was interesting. I know it was a little bit painful, but that's what editing is for. So anyhow, I'll get back to Wheels of Fury as soon as possible. 2025 hadn't started off very good, but anyways, talk to you later. Bye.
Anymore. So you know that them cutting WCW was a long time coming. I don't think that's the case at all. If you look at some of his earlier interviews,